everybody. How are you doing? Woohoo! So I'm Gísli, the CTO and co-founder of Monerium. And my original intent was to talk about an IBAN for your wallet. That's actually a lie. Because in the past few months, there are so many things that have happened that if I would have known then, when I submitted the talk, what I know now, it would have been something more like, why you're not bullish enough on DeFi, right? So I'm going to be sharing some of those insights with you and hopefully explain why I'm so excited. But before we begin, for those of you who don't know what Monerium is the issuer for the EURe. And the EURe is an authorized stablecoin, first of its kind, basically a new category of stablecoins. And when we were building the EURe, we had some design principles that we really wanted to adhere to. And of course, this had to be, Web3 first. So the EURe is, of course, managed by your wallet using metamask signatures, and it's DeFi native, right? But being regulated gives you a set of properties that we think are really important. And for us, it was really important that the euro that we provide is the actual euro and not a proxy for something else, like USDC. So to prove that, last month, one of our customers actually paid their tax obligations in their home country in Europe with our token. So you have to think about this as the euro, right? Okay. So when you sign up and become a Monerium customer, we also give you an IBAN. And I'm sure you're familiar with what an IBAN is. It's the international bank account number. You'll see one on your bank account, right? But now you have one on your wallet. And I'm going to be sharing some demos here to show you, the process. And this here is the Monerium application. And like every other D app, the first thing you do is that you're going to connect your wallet to it. And right now, we support both browser-injected wallets and Wallet Connect. So we're going to connect. Connect. There we go. And here you can see that I'm selecting a euro account on Gnosis chain. I'm going to provide a wallet signature. And once we've done that, we can request an IBAN. And this is what that looks like. So now I have an IBAN associated with my wallet. And what does that unlock? Why do we even care about that? Well, number one, you can now seamlessly receive euro payments directly from a bank account to your wallet. So it never made sense to us that you had to go through a centralized exchange to buy a euro. You don't do that in the banking system. You just move your euros from one bank account to the other, and that's what we have. So we seamlessly integrated the SEPA system, and let's take a look at what that's like. Here, what you're seeing is my wallet and the application. This is my personal IBAN for my wallet. And now let's take the other side. Here's my good friend Árni. And let's imagine that he doesn't have a wallet yet, but he has a bank account. So we'll open up his Revolut account, and he will take my IBAN and send a couple of euros to it. Then he may want to type in a memo associated with the payment, and then he's going to review his payment, and when he's ready, he's going to send. And this is an actual recording of the time that it took the euro to go from his bank account via the SEPA instant settlement system directly into my wallet. It's 10 seconds, and it's there. Automatic, seamless, money flowing back and forth. And what you see in the DApp will be some of the properties associated with the transaction, like the sender, and if you can see it, going on chain, the memo, was moved between the two systems. Completely automatic and seamless. So that's one thing you can do with an IBAN. What about the other way? So you can also send payments from your wallet to somebody else, to anyone with a connected bank account. So let's look at what that looks like. I'm going to hit the send button there. I'm going to type a euro in. I'm going to send him back a euro. I'm going to select his Revolut IBAN, and I'm going to type in a memo going off-chain. So we don't necessarily talk about on and off ramping anymore. It's just fiat off-chain in the banking system, and then fiat on-chain with Monerium. Let's go. Here's Otni again, and the money just flows back. And when it lands in his wallet, his bank account, you can see that the payment is from me and not Monerium, because this is your money and it's in your name, right? So this solves a lot of headache for a lot of people and businesses when it comes to, crypto-associated transactions back into the banking system. Poof, it's solved, taken care of. What about cross-chain? Right now, we support 3 chains. So it's Ethereum, Gnosis Chain, and Polygon. And we'll be adding a lot more in the coming months. Think about layer 1s, layer 2s, non-EVM based, and here's what that looks like in the web client. So you can see that I have 1 euro on Gnosis Chain and 0 balance on the others. Now I'm going to initiate a payment, not to the banking system, but to another blockchain. So I will select cross-chain. I will select the destination chain I want and the address that I want to send to. Type in a memo, just like before. And then I'm going to send it away by providing the signature. OK? Off we go. Now the money is moving from Polygon, from Gnosis Chain. And it's gone there. You can see the balance is 0 right now. And let's look where the money is right now. So go ahead. I'm going to open up the balances there. And you can now see 1 euro on Polygon. So like that, in a couple of seconds, you can move your money between chains. So we think this is really powerful. So let's imagine now that you're a Web3 company, and you manage all your assets, your digital assets, your crypto, everything on-chain, right? And you want to use a safe wallet for that, for multi-signature purposes. So using the EURe as fiat, you can now use that wallet to provide, to control the euro with the same multi-signature setting. So it's just the same thing. You don't really need to think about a bank account. You just think about your fiat currency on-chain. So you can see in this demo, there's a 2 out of 2 multi-signature. You can open up the Monerium app as a safe app. And what that gets you is the web client embedded into the wallet. And here's an important thing to note, that the green light up there and the safe icon tells you that now this wallet is controlling your assets, right? So that means you have all the same functionality that I spoke about before. You can send payments back into the banking system, you can go cross-chain, but whenever you want to authorize it, now 2 persons have to do so, right? So this is how we extend what we built in DeFi to the banking system. Okay. And of course, the asset page in the safe wallet is also going to reflect the balance, very importantly. So the euro is natively there. I think it takes some time for a lot of people to understand what we built and the power of the infrastructure that we have. But I think it's easiest and was summarized by a happy Monerium customer when he said, my safe wallet, and actually any wallet, is now becoming my own self-sovereign bank account. right? Why would you need another bank account? You can do all the functions that a Revolut wallet can do from your MetaMask wallet or your Safe wallet. You can receive money from anyone. You can send money from anyone, and you can go cross-chain. So think about it. There are 11 trillion euros in the banking system, and now they can freely flow to a blockchain and then to another chain. And there's enough liquidity there because it's just moving money around, okay? So the EURe is efficient. You can send payments 24/7 across the banking system to anyone in the SEPA system. You can go cross-chain, and I probably forgot to mention, with 0 fees. So this is free of charge. The infrastructure is also self-sovereign because it's your money, as you saw earlier. It's in your name. You can use whatever wallet you want to use, and on any chain that we support, and we'll be adding more, as I mentioned earlier. And of course, it needs to be secure. So it's regulated, it's authorized, it's the euro, it's 102% over-collateralized, and our smart contracts have been audited by ACI, who have done a great job auditing many of the industry's smart contracts, like the Safe Wallet, like OneInt, and others. So, what I've shown you so far are the capabilities of the on-chain fiat infrastructure that we've built. But we're not stopping there. We're not creating a siloed and a lock-in interface that is the only way to access this. If you're builders, and now I'm going to speak to the builders in the group. If you're builders and you need fiat, and to begin with the euro, this is the solution. This is the solution for you to build on. So you have all the power, all the features that I showed you earlier, available to you as an API. And we've even gone so far as to wrap it up in an SDK for your convenience. And oh yes, it's open and it's free. So you can start to use it. So now that we've established how powerful this is, and you have an SDK for it, we can really start to question or ask ourselves, what can be built on this? And here's a good friend of ours from the Bootnode team, woohoo, shout out to Bootnode. So what they decided to do, this is an external team to Monerium. They decided to dedicate 2 developers for a month and see what they could come up with. And the idea was, how can you streamline the process of going from any token on any chain to an external bank account in less than 5 minutes with less than total of €1 fee, okay? I think this is really powerful because although it's powerful for a reason, because if you think about a DAO contributor who gets paid in a treasury token or a stablecoin somewhere, like going from that to an external bank account where you may need to pay your landlord, a rent or something like that, it's a major hassle if you think about the steps that they need to take today. Here, it's completely streamlined, and I'm going to show you a demo of how this works. So they're calling it EURe, and you start by connecting your wallet, MetaMask, boom, connected. Then, and remember, this is just a web client. There's no backend there. So it's just a web client deployed. And what it does, it gets your explicit authorization to perform some operations on your behalf. So here I'm accepting that. So from there, I can actually go to Polygon in this example, select Matic, I'll type 2 Matic, which I have there, and I'm going to get a quote. It's €1.39. The next thing to do is that I will type in the IBAN. This is going to be my credentials, my banking details, but imagine this is the landlord. And then you go. You start the transaction, and it's twofold. You want to bridge, you want to convert, and this is happening in this transaction. So bridging from any source chain to the Gnosis chain, converting into EURe. From there, we actually want to transfer it to the landlord. That's another signature. So 10 seconds later, it was done. And what did I see in my Revolut account? I saw this. €1.38 originating from the Matic on Polygon, now in my bank account. And as before, it's coming from Gísli. So you don't see Monerium there. And the reference there is using EURe, so that's also transferred along. So I've talked about the possibilities, and this was an example of what you can build in such a short amount of time. And now we're seeing the Safe Core SDK being released, and there you kind of have this powerhouse of services that allow you and enable a user experience on a next level, right? So you'd have your spending policies, your gasless payments, seamless onboarding with Web3 auth, all the good stuff that you need. It's being encapsulated into a single API, and of course we are very honored and humbled to have been chosen as the fiat rails for this SDK. Using this, we now can ask ourselves, what kind of applications can be built on this stack? And I think one of the major announcements yesterday was the Gnosis Pay, if you've seen it. Did you see it? The Gnosis Pay announcement with its associated debit card, where you now can go anywhere where Visa is accepted and pay for a cup of coffee. And it's different from the Binance card, because this card is actually decentralized. It's going from your safe wallet, and there's no intermediary there. So if you want to kind of look a little bit under the hood to see how this actually works and why this is so important for Monarium, is that you have the wallet, and associated with the wallet is a safe, you have the card, and associated with the card is the safe. The safe has an IBAN, a Monerium IBAN. So whenever you touch a POS system somewhere, the wallet, the card is actually instructing the wallet to settle the payment with the Visa network with EURe for the benefit of the cafe in this example. So all cardholders become Monerium customers, and currently all payments are settled with EURe. And this is the kind of power and kind of applications that we are starting to see emerge, and it's really exciting. So what am I trying to say here? I think the industry has matured to a stage where all the pieces are coming together. And I think the reason why Web3 hasn't won yet has been that lack of user experience. It's just too hard for regular people. But right now, it's coming together. And we're starting to see those applications being built, like the Gnosis Pay. And my prediction is that in the next, for the rest of the year, we'll see a small team, like the Bootnode team, create an application that will have a user experience which rivals, the Web2 darlings like Revolut and others. That's why I am so excited, and that's what I wanted to share with you. So my only remaining question is, with all of this in place, what are you going to build? And I'll go to the Q&A in a little while. I just wanted to mention that if you're in Europe, you can sign up for your free IBAN. we are going to give away 3 cards. So I encourage you to take a picture of the QR code or visit monerium.com/gnosispay, and you will be entered into the raffle. So I think there's some time for Q&A, right?
I'm going to be really cheeky and ask 2 questions. How is it gasless, or why is it free, if you want to answer it that way? And the second question is, if we ask a really tough question, why would they want this? It's amazing what you've built, but I can already do instant transactions on the SEPA network from anyone here who has a European bank account. Why is self-sovereignty a winning thing?
Yeah, so going back to the first question, which was, why is it gasless? So I think this is a really good point. Thank you for bringing it up. So if you think about bridging, like on and off ramps, the only way they survive, their entire business model is to have liquidity of one asset and take transaction fees, right? That's what they do. Whereas Monerium is actually sided with the Web3 industry. Like, we are fully on chain and we make our money by the underlying assets. So we safeguard the assets. We're not allowed to lend them out like a bank would. So we just safeguard the assets and we make money on that. So the transfers aren't really important to us in this kind of environment. So that's why we can be sustainable while having this for free, right? So that's question number 1. And why is this important, you asked? Like, you can already have a SEPA transaction to where? Like, what happens to that? You would then need to convert that into either a stablecoin, or you would need to convert it into a cryptocurrency. But we can, what we can do, let's say you would send me 100 million euros in one go, in one transaction, right? Because we have an elastic supply, we can facilitate that without any liquidity issues. So it's just, think about the 9 trillion euros out there. It's just seamlessly going back and forth. And once it's on chain, you can actually start to manage it with the safe wallet and all of that good stuff. What we hear a lot is that the full process breaks. Let's say you're a DAO, you're a Web3 company, and you have signature rules, and then you need to off-ramp. You go into a centralized exchange and they just have a username and password, and all the security just breaks down. Now you have the programmability of Ethereum also for your fiat, and that's what you get as a benefit. Questions?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for the presentation and also for bringing Monerium to us, because I've used it, crypto native, and it's really great UX, so thanks for that. My question would be around liquidity for EURe.
Yep.
Do you have any plans around providing liquidity or incentivizing liquidity, or what's the strategy there?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So far, we've been building this for a long time, since 2016. And, first things first, we had to be regulated. We knew it, if you're going to be having fiat on chain, they're not going to accept it for mainstream usage unless it's regulated. That's number 1. Number 2, you have to be interconnected to the SEPA system for this not to be a siloed system, right? It just needs to flow. That's check. Number 3, we're entering into the DeFi era, which is actually what we're working on. So you mentioned liquidity. Yes, we are going to market via partners like Gnosis Pay. So there's a common incentive for that project to have a lot of liquidity. And we're working on it with partners like that, which unlocks the ability to exchange and lend and all of that. So that's coming. I just wanted to mention, so I think it was 2 weeks ago, we surpassed the 100 million euros transacted on-chain from the beginning. Yesterday, after the announcement, there were 7 million euros transacted on-chain. So it's like 7% of everything that was transacted before yesterday. So we do expect a lot of pickup right now. As I mentioned, all the card holders will have Monerium account settled in EURe, and there's going to be a lot of activity there.
Last question.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, congrats on the product and the talk. I was curious to know, I wasn't there the first part of the talk. The IBAN is not tied to a name, only to an address, right?
No. So that's an important topic. Okay, so how this works is for you to have an IBAN,
Right.
we need to associate it with an address, right? But you need to go through a KYC process.
Okay.
So like we have the same license as PayPal had, Revolut. So we are an e-money institution. And for that to work, everybody needs to be KYC'd. However, on-chain, you can trade in a pool and get EURe without being KYC'd.
Okay, perfect.
So I think the benefit of being authorized and playing by the rules is that now we can, we settle all our SEPA payments through the Central Bank of Lithuania, to whom we can actually speak to as colleagues, because we're part of the system. And this was always our intention, to say, the best way to change the system is to become part of it and change it from within. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We are running out of time, I think.
Yeah. Okay, that's perfect.